clearing a village, and we came under fire. And Lance Corporal Mendez was the Marine that was struck, and he was directly in front of me. And it was a pretty violent place, so we were getting taken, and it was just like any other day. And we started patrolling, and we came under contact, and he was hit, and he was immediately killed. And at the time I didn't know that, so I rushed forward and tried to provide cover fire, and I tried to get to him, but by the time I got to him, he was already gone. And then at that time, the corpsman came around, and there wasn't anything that we could do for him. And he was one of the bravest Marines. He was a young Marine. He's a Lance Corporal. He had just joined the Marine Corps. He hadn't been in very long, but he was one of the most motivated Marines I ever met. He's extremely brave.
And after that, you led the squad through what sounds like a heck of a night. Can you kind of summarize what happened that night? I hear it's one of the worst battles that you all went through.
Hours of just shooting at them. Extremely muddy. We're dirty. So I don't know. It was a long day.
People, a lot of our viewers, all they can reference is the movie.
No, it's war's a thing. I think movies a little bit.
You are in civilian clothes. What is it like being back here for this ceremony? I see you're wearing your Marine Corps tie pin. Do you still feel like a Marine? Is it?
There's certain things that I guess that you never lose from being a Marine, and it's great being back here in Mateo. I got to see a lot of the guys that I served with, and that's been the best part, is seeing all those guys and reconnecting and laughing about things that weren't funny at the time, but now we're looking back on them, we can laugh, and just it's good to see those guys.
Standing out there, did you forget that you weren't wearing a uniform? What was it like?
I was just thinking about how nervous I was, and it's all. I'm not a big talker, and I'm not a big fan of all the attention, so it's a little odd, I guess.
What did they have to? They told us they had to sort of like talk you into coming out here for this. What was that conversation like?
Well, they just reminded me that it's a part of 1-5's legacy, and that it's important for people to know what happened in Sangin, and this is a part of it, whether I like it or not.
Yeah. Did they give? When did you? How did you get the word that the Silver Star was the medal that you would be awarded?
One of the Marines here one of the Marines at 1-5 called and told me that the award had been approved and that they wanted to do a ceremony.
Did you ever expect a ceremony like this?
Well, I asked for them to keep it pretty simple, but it's a little more than what I needed.
Sergeant Major kind of said that maybe you had asked for them to mail it to you. Is that true?
I said that would be okay if they could just mail it to me.
They weren't going to have that.
No, not at all.
Standing out there with all of these Marines inspired by you and your actions, what did it feel like to receive the nation's third highest award for valor?
Well, I know that like the citation that was read has my name on it, but I'm just an individual Marine. My squad was amazing. Like they're some of the best Marines I've ever met. Those guys were brave every day, and and Sangin was a terrible place, and without them, I'm just one Marine.
What stands out most in your mind from that battle? What really just stands out the most when you think back to that?
The low crawling through the mud and stuff is pretty terrible.
What was it like?
It's just, we're dirty, wet. Our weapons were jamming. We had already been out there for several hours. We were all tired.
Whose idea was that, and what was the objective?
It was just because there's a lot of open fields in Afghanistan. We were trying to, maintain a low profile and move in closer to the enemy. I don't know.
Was it your idea, or did the order come down from somebody else?
It came down.
What struck me about the cornfield story is you're from Kentucky. Are you from a part of Kentucky where there are a lot of cornfields?
Oh yeah, there's cornfields all over Kentucky. Yeah.
So maybe something that you've done in the past before you were a Marine is...
I definitely played in the cornfields around Kentucky.
So you're studying Homeland Security. So
Yes.
what are your plans for the future? It sounds like you want to continue to serve the country.
I really am interested in maybe doing something for FEMA or something like that. But I guess I'll just see where it takes me once I graduate.
Do you have some sort of a sense of patriotism that kind of continues, that's driven you in that direction?
Yeah. So I love this country. I do, and it's an honor to serve the country. So hopefully I can continue that after I graduate.
And you're wearing this award, so you can't just be somebody who was a Marine anymore. There's a sense of responsibility. How does that weight carry you? Will that change your future, knowing that you're somebody who inspires other Marines, who inspires other people, that now you're a war hero?
I don't feel like a war hero. I was just doing my job. Really, when you're there, you're doing everything for your brother to the left or the right. So I don't feel any different than anybody else. Every day, Marines do brave things.
I talked to a couple of your squad members that were there, Lance Corporal Rim and Lance Corporal Len. They said that you were cool under fire. What was your philosophy as a leader for these Marines while you guys were out there?
It's just maintain a cool head and do your job. You have the training. You know what you're supposed to do. So when those things start happening, just fall back on that training and maintain your coolness under fire.
Last question for me, and then we'll take one more question from each of you guys. I know he has to go to the Memorial Garden. In a firefight, what kept you calm and confident during all that chaos?
I just try to remember that I'm in charge of these guys, so I wanted to lead by example, and I felt like if they always saw me under control of my emotions, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, that those guys would try to emulate me. So that's just the mindset that I tried to maintain to, in order for my Marines to maintain that mindset themselves and not.
One more minute. The sergeant's got to get to his reception. So if any last questions, otherwise we got to get him out of here. He's got to get to reception.
Okay, so just to kind of clarify the report, so somebody told me, I'm not sure who, that when, was it Menendez?
Mendez?
When he was hit, you went and sort of shielded him with your body, is that right?
Yeah.
So he was down, and were you laying down?
What happened was there was a ditch to the right, and he was clearing with the minesweeper, and he got hit, and he fell. I was directly behind him, so as he got hit, I went up in front of him, like to prevent from where the fire was coming from him getting hit again.
And were you down on your knees or
I was on my knees.
And you were returning fire as well?
At first. There was an initial burst of rounds. I returned a few rounds, and then I had two Marines come up and provide fire, and that's when I was by Mendez.
Do they train you to shield your fellow Marine like that, or was that just instinct?
I don't think that we're really trained. I just trained to do that. Everything happened so fast. You know, I don't know that it was something that went through my head for me to do. It was just, I guess it was a natural thing to do because, you know, when you're over there with these guys every day, it really becomes a family, and your natural instinct is to protect your family.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just, I don't know.
All right.
Let's just get the name of Lance Corporal Mendez spelled right. Do you know what it is?
It's Lance Corporal Norbert Mendez.
Is it Mendez?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, thank you so much. That wasn't so bad.